Hey everyone, welcome to episode number 2 of The Seller's Edge, the show where you get to go behind the scenes and see what it takes to create premium photography, which allows your home to stand out when you are looking to place it up for sale. Today, we have this house right here in Birmingham, Michigan. It's a nice two-story home, and we're going to go ahead and make sure we make it look as good as it possibly can. To just kind of give us a little bit of a preview of what we're going to be working with here. These are kind of like the before images. These are the images that the camera believes are pretty good. I personally don't think that this would be the best kind of look for the house, but the camera believes that. So these are pretty much going to be the starting point that we're working from. You can already kind of tell just by the feel of the what you see that the house is pretty nice. It's actually a really nice home, but the photos, if you ask me anyway, they don't seem to really measure up to that standard. They're not living up to the house. So that's why we're going to go ahead and make sure we tune them up and make them look as good as they possibly can. So let's go ahead and get started with that right now. Let me go ahead and find our first images that we're going to work with, which should be, let's start at, I think, the front door. So yeah, here's the front door. We are going to start with this right here. This is actually um, the ambient photo, the all natural light photo that we'll be using. So we're going to be blending a flash image and we're going to be blending an ambient image and keep basically trying to get the best of both worlds where the two of those are concerned. And so this ambient image right here, your windows are obviously a little bit much. So that's what I'm seeing anyway. I'd prefer them to be knocked down a fair amount. It's one of the things I pretty much always do. And then this right side of the frame right here is a little bit dark, so let's go ahead and boost it up a little bit where exposure is concerned. So this is our flash image, and you can pretty much see right here that this whole first upper half is a lot brighter than this half down here. So we're going to go ahead and make sure that we bring up our light levels down here on the bottom, like so. And that pretty much gets the flash version of this photo right where we need it to be. So yeah, I actually like that quite a bit. Let's go up here and I think just a few just base adjustments like this. That's a little bit too bright. Let's turn this to negative -0.1 maybe. Let's go, well, 0, negative -0.1. Mm, let's see here. Why? I think, yeah, right about there. So that looks pretty good. And then we're going to go ahead and take both of these photos and we're going to send them to Photoshop in layers. So let's go ahead and do that. While that's loading up, let me switch over here real quick. I want to look at something on this before photo. So yeah, that's what I thought. Um, all right, it should be loaded up right now. So here we go, and this is our ambient image on the top here. So we're going to just go ahead and do a basic blend that in. So this is only the flash, and now if we bring more ambient in, it will take a little bit of the flashiness out. And I like that. Yeah, I like that. That looks pretty good. The only thing I'm seeing is maybe right here, it's like a half circle of underexposure just right there at the top. So we'll go ahead and address that when we basically merge it back. Let's go ahead and merge these layers all together, save them back to Lightroom, and switch back over there. So we're going to use this tool here, our radial adjustment tool, just to bring up exposure at the top there, just a half a hair, right about there. That's pretty good. And we'll see if we can straighten up our vertical lines a little bit. Just like that. I'm liking that. We'll go ahead and set it to 3 stars. And this is, you can see here, this is the before image right there. That's what it looked like before. And this is the final image after. So before and then after. All right, so we're up and rolling. Got the first one done. First one's always the hardest, you know, just the first of anything, any project, any job, anything. Every time you're trying to start a new thing in business or life, the very first part of that is typically the hardest. So okay, this is our before image, and I am thinking that this whole center section obviously is a little bit shadowy, So we will go ahead and we're going to go ahead and make sure we address that for sure. So let's do. All right, so let's go ahead and we'll take this one right here, and we're gonna this is the natural light version of the photo that we're going to work with, and we're going to go ahead and make some adjustments. Obviously, issues that we have here, windows, dark back room right there. This is actually not too bad over here. So yeah, that's all doable. And we're going to solve a lot of these problems simply with the flash version of the image. That should clear up a lot of it, really. So this is the flash version right here, and it needs a little bit more power, I think. So let's go ahead and add 0.8. So that brings it up a lot. Of course, the issue that we're always going to be seeing with flash photos almost all the time is right here in these ceilings, right? The ceiling, the flash is bouncing off the ceiling. We actually have one flash hiding back here, pointed up there, and then we have one hiding up here, pointed up there. So that's how we're illuminating those spaces that are further back, and then and of course we have one I think right over here, one back in here for that hallway space, and then one big one for the foreground. So let's go ahead, and these are pretty much tuned up and ready to go. I think that what we'll do is we'll go ahead and start the blend, and while that one's loading, we will switch back over and prep and preview the other one. So again, this is the before version. This is the before version. What the camera thinks is a great photo of this this living room area, and you know, I don't think it is myself. That's just me. It just has that. It just doesn't have that professional feel to it. So we'll go ahead and we'll be working on that. Here's the natural light version that I'll be working through. So we'll go ahead and add some exposure. But of course, as we do that, as we add more light to the whole room, the light in the window, of course, becomes significantly brighter as well. So let's go ahead and knock that down a bit. We'll use our radial adjustment tool and just knock that down as much as we can like that. Our flash version right here, these windows are actually, I mean, a little too see-through. I mean, there's just, I mean, another building back there. So why do we want to see that? That doesn't really help the situation. Ideally, we'd want a blend of the two, and that's what we'll be going ahead and doing when we merge them together. But this overall for the flash version looks pretty much ready to go. Now let's switch back over here, and we'll find this for right here. All right, we're ready to go with this one. They're all loaded up. And let's go ahead and add a little more ambient, just like that. I think that's about perfect. And notice that the ambient, see how it was so flashy up here, right? Those were both ridiculously flashy. As we added the ambient in, it just naturally knocked that down. I didn't even have to manually adjust it at all. So there is one little irritation that I'm seeing. Maybe you're seeing it too, right? Yes. Oh yeah. So we got some chords here. That chords are my great enemy. Nothing I hate more than chords. Not all of them can be fixed, but if you can fix them, go ahead and make that happen. That's my theory on that. So let's see. Let's go ahead and yeah, that's doing pretty good actually. That is doing pretty good. Zip that out like so. Zip that out like so. Zip that out like so. This guy too. He needs to go away. All right, that's better. That is better. We took out a little bit of the wood here though, so let's add it back in. There we go. And yeah, that looks great. So merge it up, save it back, and then let's go ahead and do our final adjustments here. No, no, I don't like that either. Let's go ahead and crank it to the right, just half a hair. All right, super. Yeah, that looks, well, let's zoom out, make sure. I'm thinking, yes, I'm, well, maybe just a little bit to the right. Yeah, just like that. But now we got that little, now that we bent it, we have that, this annoying little white bar over here. So let's go ahead and use our, let's go ahead and do this. Constraint, perfect. All right. So here again is the before. This is the before version of the photo. And this is the after version. Before and then after. So, yep, let's move on to the next. All right, let's check this out. Go into 2 stars, and this is again, that's the before version of this living room. And these guys right here, I think these are already ready to go. So let's go ahead and move them to Photoshop, and then we'll start working on the next set. So again, this is the before. This is the before version of this photo. This one is obviously really dark. This and guys, again, this is with a a fairly expensive camera. It's not the camera. I mean the expensive camera. I mean look at this. You can't see under the table at all. All of this is just kind of blend. The sofa, no separation between the sofa and the floor. Um, You've got a giant blazing spot back here. This doesn't look appealing at all. So this particular scene right here needs a lot of work, and of course, the cord. So yeah, we're going to be working on that for sure, making it look perfect. This is our ambient version of it. Just added some extra light on site. Uh, it's already looking a lot better, but again, this thing here, in hindsight, I would have turned those lights off now that I see how bright it really was. But, yeah, I thought it was going to be okay while it was there. Let's go ahead and maybe add even a little bit more. That's better. And let's go over here, take our yellow, and see what happens if we knock it down a bit. It's actually going to be the orange one, I think. Yeah, you know what? We will just go ahead and address that whole part in Photoshop instead of working with the color here in Lightroom. So this is our flash frame, and we need to add exposure. That looks great. Yeah. Now you can see here the flash shadow. So, and then of course you got more flash shadow up here. So this entire ceiling, we're not even going to use it when we're getting done. You'll see we're not going to use it because it's just too aggressive. That would be probably the best term. Um, Switch over here. Bam. Let's start blending these two here. There's our flash version. Remember how I told you? Remember how I told you? Watch. There it is. These are the windows they have too much definition in them. And as soon as we start moving in more ambient light, it's going to just be right about perfect. Right there. You can see through it, but not so much that it becomes a distraction. You're actually staring at the room. Okay, so that's where I want it generally. Let's go ahead and fix up the details. Again, the same chords are still here plaguing me, and we're gonna definitely address them. So get rid of that. He doesn't want to leave. He definitely does not want to leave. So let's kind of force the issue a little bit. There, there. Yeah, I think, yeah. No, no, too much. We went too far. Okay, now this guy here, that looks good. And then this one here. And this is, and of course, I mean, maybe we're being a little bit too detail oriented, maybe a bit, because remember, this is what they're going to see. They're not going to even see that stuff, but the people that are looking online, the buyers. But still, it's just one of those things. It just drives me absolutely nuts when it's really noticeable. If it's not noticeable, I'm not going to make a big deal out of nothing, but it's a little bit irritating every now and then. Boom, boom, boom. Clean that up a bit. All right, and then the last part is the chord itself. I'm thinking what I'm going to do is just, yeah, we're going to take this right here. We're going to take a slice of this, like this, and we're going to copy it to this layer, and then we're going to go ahead and just pull this down like this, like so. And we're going to cover that whole thing up. Whether the plug shows or not does not matter. When they get there, they'll see that there's a full-on plug there. So then we'll add this layer mask like so. Layer mask, there you go. And now we need to just get rid of this extra that's up here. Yep, perfect. And that part down there, perfect. So let's see how that helped. Before, after, before, after. It's actually before and after. Yeah, I like that better. All right, last thing that we're going to do is we're going to pull out some of this glare on this TV. We'll just go ahead and use the colors that are in the TV a little bit. And let's see if it, nope, it did not. We wanted it to select just this inner space right here. That's what we wanted, the inner space, like so. So there you go. G for gradient, there we go. That looks a lot better if you ask me. Now it also looks a little bit fake, so if we knock it down maybe 5%, then that's perfect right there. So let's go ahead and save that back. And that looks great. So boom. We don't need this. There's no reason to have this door hinge over here. So we're going to crop it right out. Boom, like so. And let's go ahead and do our comparison. So here is the before image. There's the before. And there is the after. So here's the before. And again, here is the after. So moving on to the next. This one's ready to go, so let's go ahead and move it to Photoshop. And then we will do our pre-work on the next set. And this is, again, this is the before photo, so let's move that over there. This is the ambient light version that we're going to be working with. Right here, ambient, and it needs a little bit extra. Now, I don't know if you can tell, but it kind of looks like, especially around this whole section here, it looks like, and in here, it looks like there's a cloud, like there's haze in there, and the more that we add, the more light. As we increase the amount of light, you start seeing this going up significantly, right? It's just, as you add light, you're adding more cloud to the room, essentially. But we do need more because this section down here is not. It simply isn't kosher. That's just too dark compared to the rest of the scene. So we need to add even more, just selectively. And so we'll go ahead and do that. And now you can really see that is too. Let's go 1.5. You can see that cloud, and so we can knock that down a bit, the cloudiness, by using this dehaze slider, like so. But it's really going to, we're really going to do to address it with the flash version of the photo. So let's knock these windows down a bit, not that much because that was a bit aggressive. And then we need another one. So let's go ahead and move that over there. Okay, I think ambient pre-work is done. Here's our flash version. Colors are definitely bold in this. So let's go ahead and again add some more. I don't know if you can tell it. The colors are just so bold in this one right here. And so the colors are extra bold. You want flash and pop when you use flash, but sometimes it's just too much, and it just has I don't know. I think of it as what? Sterile, right? It has a sterile feel, and again, a little bit too see-through on the windows. So we're going to go ahead, like I said, adjust that in Photoshop. But in the meantime, let's switch over there and do the other one. Where are you at? Photoshop. There you are. Okay. So let's go ahead. Remember, ceiling issues with the flash version, color issues with that one. So let's just take the color out of the equation right there. And we will blend these. And that's probably it right there. We want mostly flash, I think. Mostly flash on this one. The exception is going to be the ceiling. So you can even label this C for ceiling. So what we'll do is we'll just go ahead and select the ceiling. And actually I want to include most of that too. This door frame here. Not this bit though. Not that bit. Okay. So we'll hit that and then like so. This is C for ceiling, and now we got a nice white ceiling in that background. So yeah, I like how that turned out. That worked out pretty well. And of course, we have to address that because we cannot allow such offensive things to stand. So let's go ahead and zoom in there and zip that out. No, he's too big. How about like that? That's pretty good. Let's see what happens. Yeah, I'll accept that. Let's go grab that there, put him there, and get rid of that little bit of color right there. No, no, that was too much. We may just have to switch gears here. I think we're gonna have to. Yep. And then I go like that, and there. All right. Seeing a little bit of shadowing there, which I'm not a fan of. There, that's much better. That is much better. Yeah, you got a little bit of funky in there, but nobody's actually going to see that. So this one is done. Get those lines all straightened up, and let's move it over. And here we go. So this, again, here's the before version of this image. The one the camera thinks is just outstanding and excellent. And here is the after. Here's the before, and this one is the after version right there. All right, on to the next. These are ready. Those are ready to go to Photoshop. This set here is, what we did was, this is a one and done. So I captured this. This is the before shot here that you're seeing, and this is the after. So I added just enough flash, and just this one you just use it like spices. It's like a detail shot or a mood shot or whatever you want to call it. You add it in just to break up things a little bit and inject emotion into what the buyer's seeing as they're clicking through the photos. But I think this is this right here is a little bit dark. This is all natural, all ambient light. So yeah, we're not going to go ahead and use that. We'll use this one, and we don't have to do very much to it. I don't have to clone anything out. We don't have to pretty much do anything. It looks perfect just like that. Maybe see if it needs. Yeah, I think it does. I'm not even going to do anything else with it. I'm just going to mark that 5 stars and call it a day. So let's move back over here into Photoshop. We'll work this one. So there we go. We will start blending. See how harsh that is? It's so sterile. Oh my goodness. So blend in more ambient light, more ambient light, more ambient light, and all of a sudden it has the real feel that I'm looking for. Now this over here looks pretty good. I just don't know if I want more detail. It looks nice and bright, but just especially right around these edges of this chair here, it just has a feeling. So let's go ahead and see if we can bring more of the flash version in and see if that helps. Just, oh, that's too much. Oh no, I can't believe that just happened. Let's go shift 2. No, that didn't. Right there. Yeah, let's try it like this. No, still. I do kind of like that, but maybe a bit much. So, yeah. All right. That's perfect right there. That is perfect. And then if we look at the ceiling, this is the all ambient version right here, and you can see this shadow is natural. I thought that might have been a flash shadow, but it's not, because this is the all ambient version of that of that same photo. And if we turn it off, you can see it's still there. It's just knocked down a bit. So that's not an unnatural feature at all. I think this is pretty much done. We don't have any reflections in here that we need to deal with. That's not that's not so good. So yeah, let's address that and make it a little bit less harsh right here. Select this whole little panel here. Well, appliances with any type of glass on them tend to do these. They find any window that's in the room and find a way to reflect it. So if we can make it a little bit nicer, that definitely helps. Same kind of thing. We're going to just go ahead and use this gradient here. It's clearly too powerful. So let's go ahead and just fade it in slowly until it's right about there. That's perfect. There we go. So this one's done. Just merge it, save it, and then check the before and after. Go on down. We'll hit auto. Yeah, that looks... yeah, I like that one better. Okay, so there we go. Let's check them out. This is before. There's the before, and there's the after. There's the before, and there is the after. Okay, on to the next. So this is the before version of this. Oh my goodness, you can already tell. This flare, this reflection is just the harshest. It's going to require two parts. We'll do the whole gradient thing to knock that out, but this is, I can't even ignore these pieces down here. We're going to have to manually fix those because that's so, it just is so attracting to the eye. It's going to be very distracting. You're not even going to see the fact that, oh, so this is connecting through to that other room. You know, that's what I really want them to see. I want them to see connection from the previous photo. I don't want them to be eyeball drawing to computer screen. That's not really what I want. I want them to see, okay, built-in fridge, plenty of cabinet space, and look, a little desk sitting area. You could sit the kid down there or sit down there and check your email, do your bills or whatever. That's really what I want to happen. I don't want them looking and thinking about, oh, computer. I want to think about space. So we're going to go ahead and let's see, we'll mark this to we'll just go ahead and mark this to 3 stars. Bam. So that we can check it out later. And then this is our ambient version we're going to work from. We'll go ahead and add a little bit more. It's really just too much right here. So we'll bring those highlights down in that space. That's looking pretty good. And then again down here, this area right here is a little bit too dark. So we'll go ahead and bring up just the light levels just on the corner. And not a lot, just a little, right like that. Here we got, let's see, boom. This is our flash frame, and we actually have 2 here because if you see up here, this is my main flash frame that I want, but up here it's got a lot of glare right there on the cabinets. So if we instead, substitute in the cabinets there, glary cabinets, not so glary cabinets, glary cabinets, not so glary cabinets. That will allow us to address that issue so that it doesn't become a problem. So we'll go ahead and add a little bit more light into these guys right here. That looks perfect. Let's go ahead and yeah, that's ready to go. We're going to move all 3 of these frames right here to Photoshop. Boom. And no, not that. Not that either. let's go ahead and move that there and put a mask on this one, and we'll start pulling through those better cabinets. There we go. So that allows us to have more consistency to start from right there. Now we can start fading in this ambient light, right, like this, and right about there. But I will admit, we had some more detail in this backsplash tile right here, so we're going to add that back in. There we go. Now we have the issue that I told you about before. Let's see. Is this? Yeah, we actually have one other thing. This right here. That's one of the flashes reflecting in the stainless steel surface. So we use this right here. We should be able to get rid of that. Yep, that went right away. Perfect. So that leaves us with one last big issue, which is this whole thing. It even looks 3D. It's bizarre how it looks like it's coming right off of that. It's really just a reflection, but we're going to have to address that so that it just doesn't become a giant distraction. Boom, there, boom, 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 boom. Okay, so this will be the first part right there. So that's good. Actually, let's go the other way, like that. Yeah, I like that better. So let's go maybe 92. Yeah, that looks realistic. Okay, then what are we going to do with the rest of it, though? You know, it's not even as bad now that we blended it, so I think I'm just going to do the same thing. It was so bad before, but this isn't really bad at all anymore. So what we'll do is we'll just go ahead and lasso this whole thing, and we're going to use the color from right here. We are pull color right here, and then we're going to put that on there like that. And same kind of thing, maybe 90. Yeah. Yep. Now it's fixed. That's perfect. Go ahead and save them up, merge them and save them. Straighten. Good stuff. So this is our before image, and this is the after. Before, dark, dingy with crazy reflections. After, bright, cheery, colorful, detailed, much better. So on to the next. All right, bam, put those in reserve. Go ahead. This is the before for this shot. Definitely a little bit dark there. And this is the ambient version that we're going to use. So let's add more light, but I think it's going to be too much. Yeah. So again, as we pre-work this image, this is too bright, and this right here is not bright enough. So those are other things that need to be addressed right now before we even merge this. So we use our radial tool here, knock down highlights a good bit, and then use it again over here to bring up, well, maybe we could just work shadows, yeah. Open up shadows in just that space. And then, what do we have here? This is flash for just that back room, clearly. The one room right there. We just lit it all by itself just in case we needed it. which often happens. So let's go ahead like that, even up it even more. And then again, these are two flash frames. If we bring up the flash levels of both of them, the light levels, you can see what's going on here is, let's take a look. We have a flashiness right there, right? And then if we look over here, it's moved. See how it's on the left side and now it's on the right side? So we can repair that for the most part by using two flash frames. So I'm not too worried about that at all. That's going to fix up just fine. So yeah, let's send them over. So ambient to flash, edit in Photoshop. There it goes. Now that's going to take a while. There's 4 frames in that one, so that's going to take a while to load. Put these in reserve. This is the before of the next scene. This might be the worst one of the entire shoot. I think, you know, when I shoot these too, these befores, I think it's pretty clear what happened here. The autofocus didn't hit right. You know, I just take these before shots with the camera in full auto instead of manual anything, and you can see. Let's zoom in to 1:1. The autofocus did not pick the right focus point when it captured this image, so that's not good. Um, if you ever are shooting real estate, if you ever go into this, you know, maybe you're in California, Seattle, whatever, and you decide you want to, you know, use an autofocus workflow, definitely make sure that you always shoot two. Autofocus, shoot, and shoot. Usually it's not going to get it wrong twice in a row. Okay, so this is the ambient version. We added more light, and I manually focused it myself. So this is our working natural light photo. We're going to go ahead and bring up light levels down here because it needs some more for sure. And yeah, that's pretty good. So you can see, of course, these are overblown, both sets. So we want to get rid of that. We'll use my favorite Lightroom tool, the radial adjustment brush. Bam, bam, bam. Highlights down. Okay, so this is good. I think the rest of it will flush out when we blend it. And let's go ahead and maybe add 6, add 4. And where's the problem? Well, we've got this right here. The flash is standing here, pointing up there to bounce light down into this space. All right? And what's it doing? It is catching this right here and putting a flash dagger into the ceiling. So we're going to have to, of course, address that as well. Definitely going to have to address that. So let's go over here. You got to merge this previous one. Turn those off. We're going to move this up here for later. Turn it off. And again, just like I said, we're going to go ahead and try to get rid of most of this glare before we even merge these together. So like so. That looks just fine. And then here's our ambient version. All flash and add more ambient in as we see fit. And then here is the flash for just that backspace. And I like how it's adding in here, right? I like how what it's doing back there. You can see, right? Boom. Before, after, before, after. But what I don't like is what it's doing over here, and all up in there. That's not cool. So we'll go ahead and just mask that out for sure. Right about there. Get rid of that. Now I don't have to deal with that nonsense. All right, super. So otherwise, I think this is good, right as we see it here. One exception, of course, is going to be this whole thing here in boom. that is the light that is directly behind the camera. So, you know, it's hanging down from the ceiling, and that's the supporting structure for it. But it's kind of sort of rather noticeable. So let's just go ahead and remove it if we can, if it's not too hard. I mean, it's not essential that you remove it, but I don't know why we'd leave it in if we don't have to, because it's kind of ugly. Yeah, that's definitely better. Okay, yeah, I like that. And in fact, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to darken that up, I think. That is what I'm going to do. So that way, the darkness between these two, right, this guy and this guy, are kind of matched up. Prefer that a little bit. So that's good right there. And we'll go ahead and save it back. Straighten, auto. Huh, yeah, I like that. So we'll go ahead and set this to 3 stars. What did it look like before, and what did it look like after? Well, there's the before, and there is the after. There's the before, and there is the after. Super. All right. And we're already ready with this one. I'm going to push that right on over to Photoshop right now. I think we'll just wait for this one to load. I think it should load pretty quick. Yeah. So there we go. I think this is going to be real simple. So right about, what is that? Is that the, oh, that's, look at this. We got such intense sun that it's just like blazing through these little gaps here. Like, is that my flash? What in the world is that? I don't know. But yeah, no, I know what it is now. Let's go ahead and I think right about there. Yeah. So you can see we still have the issue up here and this issue right here. So we can address those and this one right here, right? And down there. So we need to address all of that stuff. I think we'll start with these little light patches here. They're, now I'm going to do those at the end. I changed my mind. I reserve the right to change my mind. This ceiling is the ceiling I want to use. I'm going to use more of this ceiling. But, of course, it's not cooperating very well. So let's start there. We'll move all the way over here. Gotta get it lassoed in. Zoom out. All right. All right. So that's where we are. You can see this whole ceiling has just kind of like a nice, smooth, silky look to it. It does have a little bit, that shadow's a little bit harsh. So I prefer not to make that more prominent. But we're going to go ahead and use this ceiling for the most part. And you can see here, yeah, it's definitely better. So it's a little bit bright though, I think. So let's move it. Let's move it. No, see that made that shadow worse. And I don't want to. No, no, no. We gotta have to tackle this a different way. So I really only want. Here's what's going on. I want this section a little darker, but I don't want to increase that and make that a little darker. So that's proving kind of tricky to pull off. So what we need to do is we got to kind of half and half it. So we will actually make this one darker. We're going to make it a little darker, make this a little darker. Not by much though, just like that. And then we need to get rid of this layer mask and add a full one in there. And then what we'll do is we'll just bring this side up a little bit, like so. Right there. So now it's not so harsh. Not such a harsh white going on there. And yeah, that looks pretty good. Boom, boom. And really all I need to do now is address that ceiling issue in the back room. So this is ambient only. Same kind of thing. We'll just use this ceiling. That's what we'll do. We'll use the ceiling in this room that's all ambient. Right here. Of course, the software is having issues figuring out what I want, what I don't want. It does that a lot. I don't want this side of the door. Come on. And now it's just going crazy. It's going absolutely bonkers. There. Okay. So, yeah, I like that. That looks good. All in all, that looks good. I think, let's see. Boom, boom. Yeah. Okay. And then, so most of our issues, this is a hard image, you know, we're still in it. This should have been done a while ago. But all these little things, you know, if you focus on the little things, you end up with problems. You end up taking more time. You end up just spending a lot of time to get it right. So, boom, 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 boom. Here's that. And then this is a little bright down here, so let's grab this section over here and move it over like so. Move this. Nope, that's too much. We need less. We need a little bit less. Well, no, let's just step it back completely. Let's go like that. Let's try again. Grab that and put it there. Grab that and put it there. Grab that and put it there. There. All right, that's exactly what I want it to look like. Perfect. Okay. Save. Control S. I think this is pretty straight already. So yeah, that looks good. Let's go ahead and check out our before and after. So again, before, focus didn't even hit right with autofocus, and after. Before and after. So yeah, looks good. Alrighty, let's continue on. Move these into reserve, and then this is our before photo here. So that's the before, and this is our ambient, all ambient light. That window is really intense. We're going to make it more intense right here. I think that we're going to even add more. We're going to try to bring up that section right there with our radial adjustment. I think we'll just attack the shadows only instead of bringing the light levels of that whole section up. Good. All right, that'll work. And then here we have our flash frame. We need to boost our flash frame up a bit, maybe even more than that. maybe even more than that. So 1.29, yeah. So you're probably seeing what I'm seeing. This right here, now that's where I wanted the flash in order to get it bounced off the ceiling where I wanted it, but it put this stupid thing in the mirror there. So I had to take a second frame, a repair frame, which you see right here, to get rid of that out of the out of that picture frame. So I think it needs more though, maybe 1.5 in order to balance the light levels because the flash was at a different angle. But yeah, let's go ahead and send this one off to be merged because that's ready to go now. And we'll put these in reserve. This is the fireplace shot right here, the before version of it. And then this is the ambient, our natural light photo. And those windows are still a little bit intense, both of them. On this side, the left one's not too bad, so we'll leave that one alone. But these two right here, they need to have some attention given to them. Alright, and shadows on this section here need to be brought up. Okay, super. Here we go. Add 0.6 to our flash. That's probably right where I want it to be. So these are prepped and ready, and clearly the bubble level on the camera, this doesn't look level at all. They're slanting, which you can't trust them things. I swear, it just drives me nuts. You think, it completely says the thing is level, and then you get into the software, and it's not. And you're like, what the heck is going on? I'm over that now, though, pretty much. I just assume that's part of what happens. You want it to do what you want it to do, and it doesn't for its own reasons. So, whatever. Okay, so here we are. Let's go ahead and, again, get rid of that silly flash reflection right there. And there we go. So the flash frame is ready. And let's start. This is, I don't know if you can tell, but it seems like there's yellow or green coming in from the outside, staining the walls. So I don't want to use any of the color information from this natural light one. I just want to use color information from the flash version because that always has good color. So let's go ahead and move this like so. Okay. And that looks good. That does look good. I like that. Okay. I might want more window. I think I do on this one. Yeah, I definitely do. So let's go ahead and add some more window, like so. Yeah, I think that's better. All right, good. Now here you can definitely see this. This right here, see how these are not vertical? That's because we pointed the camera down, so we could get a little bit more tabletop in the frame. We did that on purpose though this time. The other one I did with the fireplace shot, I definitely did not do it on purpose. So we'll go ahead and correct for that right now. Merge these up. And if we go right in here, we can just bend that back into place. So yeah, just like that. That's perfect. That is just how it should be. So let's go ahead, put that over there and check out the before and after. So here we have the before version of what the camera thinks is a great photo of this dining room setup. And there's the after. Which would you rather have if your house was on the market? This version? Or would you rather have this version? I'd rather have this version. I'm hoping you agree with me. But, yeah, I know you do. I know you do. right, so there we go. Bam. We have, let's go ahead and set that to 4. The fireplace shot is ready to go for merging already. So let's go ahead and make that happen. Here we go. Yep, ready to go. So let's start adding more natural light in. I think that's about perfect. If we keep adding more, we're losing it. We're losing it right here in the fireplace. So, let me watch. Let's do it again. Let's do it again right there. Right here. See how we got the detail? But it's a little bit flashy as we move, and now we start losing it. So right about there, I think that's probably perfect. And we don't have a lot of other stuff that I want to address in this, cloning or anything like that. This looks really quite good, other than this little guy. I don't like that. This is acceptable. That just has a good natural feel to it. This thing up here has got to go. So let's zip up there. And we are going to merge these. And then, you know what? It's just a little bright. I shouldn't, not too much. Let's just do this. Let's do this. Let's go ahead and darken this whole layer up like that. Yeah. And then we'll mask it out so you can't see it. And then we'll just start bringing this darker version back in, just like bit by bit. That. Yeah. So look. See? It was eye-catching, now it's not. Eye-catching, now it's not. Okay. Super. So yeah, merge it up. Save it. All right. And if we set it to 3, we can see here is the before version, and here is the after. Before, and then after. Excellent. Okay. Moving right along. What do we have next? What's up next? Well, let's put these over into the reserve box. Here's our before for that whole room from that angle, not just the fireplace theme. So that's the before. And this right here is, this is our flash version. This is our flash version right here. Yeah. So I think let's go ahead and add a little bit, maybe like 6. Yes, that's good. Obviously, you can see the flash is reflecting there, but that's going to buff out without any problem. So then we have this version right here. This is our ambient version. And if we boost that up, I think you can probably tell this section, this kind of half circle here, is too dark. But we don't want to brighten this up anymore. This is already bright enough as it is. So, and then you can probably see color cast all up in there, yellow greenish color cast, which is not acceptable either. So let's go like this though. Let's just bring up the light levels. Down here, boom, 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 boom. Okay, done. Super. So yeah, that one's ready. This set is ready to go. All right, so there we are. Let's go ahead and again, this color cast thing has me thinking that I want to forget all of the color from this ambient version. So we switch it. We're going to switch it to luminosity mode. So we're only getting color from the flash version, and then That's so flashy. Can you see that? See, look, ambient light, windows suck. Flash version, this, flash reflection here, too bright over here. The rest of it's pretty good. Too bright over here. So that's why, one or the other never seems to work very well. It's either, um, you know, it's windows are crazy, color sucks if you're doing all natural light, or if you're doing all, just flash, then you have all the little problems that you experience with flash. I like these. Yeah, I like this. So this window right here, this one is good. These are a little bit much. Well, not this one. This one's fine. But so basically it's this and this. It's still a little bit. Those are hazy. So let's go ahead and address those. Let's go ahead and address those. Boom. We need to use a black brush. That's like so. Yeah. Yeah. There we go. I like that better. I definitely like that better. Okay. So I think this is all how I want it to look, with the exception of this section of the image here. It's a little bit dark, not too dark, and then of course my great enemy, the chords. They are back. They have returned to haunt me. So let's go ahead and get rid of them. Let's go. Let's go. Zoom over here. So what are we going to do? We're going to brighten up this whole thing like so. Right about there. Right about there. Okay. Then we're going to hide it, and then we're just going to bring it back in just in this space. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom, boom. Just like that. Before, after. Okay, so it's just a little bit brighter, which is what I want. And now let's see what we can do with this cord. Is it gonna go easy, or is it gonna be a fighter? Is it gonna be like, no, no, I'll fight to the death? Yep, it's battling. It's a battle for sure. Unfortunately. Get rid of the label. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Snake it up like there. Get rid of the shadow. That shadow. That shadow. Now it's bringing up, see, this is what happens. It starts bringing in stuff from the baseboard instead of doing what it's supposed to do. So I think this section right here, we're just going to move this right on over. Boom, boom. That's good. All right. Now we just got to eliminate this bit down here. That bit there, that bit there, there, right there, there, and there. Okay, so yeah, let's go ahead and put that there. Now I know it's like, you're like, oh, it's not perfect. You're not perfectly replacing that timer, that light timer thing. You're not perfectly replacing it. Oh, well, you know what? Who cares? Because nobody's looking at it. You just need it to... yeah, nobody's just going to see that. Especially at the resolution that these things go on to the MLS. Alright, so boom. Good. Save. This is a little bit difficult to... there, okay. We will straighten it. That looks perfect. Oh my gosh, that looks so good. I mean, come on. Who wouldn't want to sit in this bright, happy room? I would. It looks wonderful. Okay. So, yeah. It doesn't look so wonderful here in the before version, right? I mean, you can tell it's a nice space, but before, after. Before and the after. I'm thinking that the after version looks better. All right, continuing on. Let's go over here and we will put that one in reserve. Let's go ahead and this is the before version of this shot. All right, yes it is. Not so happy looking. Again, this is our all natural light version of this same shot. It's already a little bit brighter. Adjusted, added more exposure in camera. I want it to be brighter still. Now it's too much around the windows, so let's go ahead and knock that down probably a fair amount like this. Well, that was all we really needed. Other windows too, they're having their own issues. So boom, highlights down, done. Okay, super. How about the flash version? We've got two flash versions of this one and this one. Can you guess why? Can you guess why? Yeah, you know. You already know that that has got to be repaired before we merge it with the natural light version. So that is fine. We will, let's see, maybe add a little more light into these ones, maybe 6. No, that's too much. Maybe just 2 actually. Yeah, I think 2. 2 looks good. And we're probably going to use the ceiling from this one, or mostly. I don't know. We'll find out. Let's go ahead and merge them. Then we'll know. All right, so let's go ahead and get rid of that. I'm not a fan of that at all. Get rid of it. Go away, go away, go away. Perfect. All right, and then this guy right here. Right, probably right there. Thinking that's it. Yep. And we don't have to address the windows or anything. This looks great. Okay, super. We got off easy on this one. Every now and then, right? Thank you, Jesus. Straighten it up. You know what? It just feels a little unbalanced. It feels a little bit unbalanced. This is not center on straight, and I can deal with that. I want to show how this connects together a little bit right here, but I feel like it's just a bit much. It has too much of an imbalance. You know, you have to have trade-offs. You have to be willing to make compromises. I mean, ideally, we would square crop this beast, and I think that's going to be it right there, though. Yeah, which is almost completely centered on that. Yeah, I think that's better. So we're definitely using that. Definitely going with that. So what do we got? Yep. Before and then after. Before version and then the after version of that same image. Boom. So put that in reserve. Now what we have here, what we're going to be dealing with here is this. This is the ambient version of this. Let's boost it up a little bit. And you can see that, oh, excuse me, I think this is the before version. Let me not get, yeah, it is. So this is the before version, and you can see here what's going on is the lights are way different color temperature inside the bathroom than out here. This is all daylight, and this is, I think, probably some kind of fluorescent. So that is a major inconsistency, and I decided, I said, you know what, I'm not even going to mess with this. I'm going to forget about this completely. I want to leave this black and light it with flash only. I'm not going to use any of this. Turn the lights off, turn those lights off, turn those lights off completely. and not even worry about it. So let's go ahead. That's the before version. And this is the ambient version. So really all we're doing in this frame is we're using, I decided, I was like, yep, I'm just going to use this section here. That's it. So windows are still a mess. So let's go ahead and tune it up a little bit. No, that made it too dark. That's good. So I don't know, Windows. Windows, Windows, Windows. You're having issues over here. Highlights? No. No? Yeah. Highlights down just a bit. Yeah, right like that. Okay. And we're not doing anything at all with the bathroom over here because we're going to use this one for sure. This is it. So the only flash that we're going to be using, this is all ambient on the left side, and this is all flash on the right. And because flash is almost identical color temperature to daylight, they are going to match up perfectly. Oh yes, they are going to be perfect. Shadows, bring those. We're going to have to add more light completely. Right about there. That's it. So super. Let's go ahead, move them, merge them. These are going to reserve. This is the before version of this setup. So let's go ahead and while those other ones are loading up, this is our ambient light that I'm working with. Bam. That looks really good. I almost could just use that just like that. This is the flash version. Oh, though, look at that. Look at that. Okay, here you go. Check it out. Check it out. Here's what I'm seeing. So here to here. This is the natural light version, right? And this is the flash. Look how you got all that extra detail. It's like smeared out in the natural light version. In the flash version, we got that extra detail going in there. So that is that's definitely going to be an advantage on the flash side. So now I'm scrapping what I said before about just going all ambient on that shot. Every now and then I'll do that, where I just use the ambient only. But not this time. Let's go ahead and brighten this corner up here. Contrast and perfect. Okay, so that's ready. We'll come back to it in a second. This guy right here needs to go on top and switch to lighten. There it goes, right? Lighten it up. Boom. Like turning on the lights. Off, on, off, on, off, on, off, on. You don't want me to do it again, do you? Off, on. Alright. So, yeah, that is definitely going to be it. Let's merge it. I've got one thing that I'm seeing. This section up here is a little shadowy, so we will go ahead and just brighten up that section. So these are levels to brighten it up like that. Hide it and then bring it back in up there. Just like that. Oh yeah. So before, after, before, after. That's better for sure. Definitely better. Save. This looks pretty straight already. Yeah. Okay, so here is the before version of the photo. Yep, before. There's the after. Before and after. Okay, it's definitely better. So this one is going to go 4 stars. This one's going to be a 5-star image. Bam. Let's go. These are prepped and ready to go. Let's merge them. Port them out to Photoshop. Let's put these in the archive. And you know what? I forgot about this. I did. I did forget about this. This is my repair frame. See? See how I got that right there? I got that hot spot right there. So the repair frame is designed to not have a hot spot. But we do have to match them up. So this is, what do we got here? This is 6. So this one needs to be 6 as well. That one needs to be 6 if the other one's 6. Alright, so let's go back in here. Close it out because it's missing that piece that I want. Don't necessarily need it, but I do want it. And then, okay, so now we got to load 3 frames. So those are in the archive. Here is the before of this one. Here's the natural light version. That's very similar. And this section right here, too dark. So we need to fix that with our handy dandy radial tool. Now we will bring up light levels over there. Bring up light levels, perfect. And let's start knocking down windows because they're really aggressive up here. The sun must have been coming right in there. And in fact, let's do another one. Let's do another one over here. And this one right here. Perfect. Okay. Flash version. This one looks pretty good. Maybe 6. Yeah, I think so. That looks good. Okay. So, boom. Here's our natural light version of the photo. This is our flash version. Let's go ahead and make that repair first. Like so. That's too much. I just want it repaired there. I don't want that. Okay. That's almost as bad, but not quite. Okay. Either way, it's going to buff out right as we do this. About there. See how, yeah. So yeah, if it's only natural light, there's no detail in that detail work on the stairs. But if it's blended, it's just enough. I like it. I like it just like that. We don't need to do anything else. What is going on here with this crazy thing? Okay, yeah, get me back. So, straighten. No, I didn't like that. Oh, I guess I'll have to settle. No, I like it like this. No, no, I don't. This one. Yeah, definitely that one. Okay. Super. Boom. Here's the before. And here's the after. There's the before. And that's the after. Let's go ahead and we prepped these ones already, so let's send them over. Back over here, back over here. 1. Send those to the reserve. And then this is a before of this one. This is the natural light version of this one. You can tell this first thing I'm looking at is this backspace here looks kind of gloomy, and of course these windows are offensive. They're offending my eyes. So let's go ahead and fix this. That back room is going to get fixed because I added a flash back in that room and in the shower area. Okay, boom. And here's something too. Watch this. So this right here, guys, boom, 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 right? That's so dark. That's what that is, dark. But if we look at the flash version of it, it's all lit up. So as we move those, it's going to be half and half. It's going to be halfway between this and this, pretty much. And so this is the natural shadow profile. This is unnatural because there's no shadows at all, but it'll retain that eventually once it's blended. This looks good, pretty much good to go. Yep. Let's go ahead and blend this set here. We're probably gonna, I'm just thinking we're gonna use, well, we'll see. I was thinking we were gonna use the ceiling. Use the ceiling from the ambient one. But it's losing all of its detail up there. This is probably perfect right here. That ceiling has like, I don't know. Let's do this. I'm gonna grab this flash frame, toss it on top, tell it to lose its color information, and then we're gonna hide it and just bring it back in the ceiling. Because I like the rest of the frame as is. I just want this line in the ceiling. There we go. Perfect. Windows look good. Everything else checks out. Merge them. Save them. Okay. Straighten. That looks good. And there is the before. And this is the after. Before, after. Yes. Excellent. 4 and 5 stars for after. This one right here is set's ready to go. Let's port it over. And let's put these in the reserve. This is our before photo, which of course we can tell what's going to go on here. This has to be individually addressed for sure. Got to address that. So go ahead and set it to 4. Well, this is the before, so that goes like that. Do your thing, software. Do your thing. Okay, this is the natural light version. And I don't want to push this any harder than it already is. On the left side the right side's not dark enough or bright enough. The left side's right where it needs to be. So let's do that. Okay, super. Now, flash frame, this is just for the door. We're going to use that on the door. And then usually I would keep that door closed, but the space was too confined, and I didn't want to communicate the idea that closet was there. The setup up here is a little bit different. It's unique and it works. So I did want to put that idea into the final photo somehow. So yeah, that's right. Okay, let's work on this set here. And we're probably going to use the same exact technique because this is where we want it to be. And again, that ceiling just washed out a little bit. So luminosity, we're going to actually, and it's too dark too. We're going to have to brighten it up a bit. Not a lot, but some, definitely. Like that. Alright, hide it up. And then bring it back. Get those edges back in there. There it is. That is what it needs to be. No, just like that. So this is our before, and this is the after. Here we have before, and here we have the after. So there we go. Next up, let's go ahead and push these out to Photoshop and take a look at the next set. The series. These go in reserve. This is our before. I think it missed. I think it did. You know, when you set this camera to auto, it typically will default to f4 instead of something like f8, which means something is going to be in focus and something is not. In this case, I think it picked this. It picked the foreground and blurred out the background. Ideally, though, it would be both the foreground and the background that are in focus like they need to be. So, yeah, this is like this, right? Let's go ahead and boost this up. That's too much. That's probably just right. The window needs to be addressed. So let's go ahead and do that. And then this door, of course, is significantly darker than it needs to be. So let's bring that up a bit like this. And even that's not quite right. Zoom out. Use our handy dandy radial tool. Like so. We'll make it skinny. And then, let's see. Let's try that. Right about there. That's enough. That is enough. The flash version of this photo is gonna buff that out. That whole door doesn't look good. But this one looks too flashy. But once they get together and they merge, it'll become perfection, which is what we want. Okay, so those are ready. Let's work on this one. Boom, boom. Let's move this flash doorway at the top of the stack. Let's blend the ambient and the flash version like that. That looks about perfect. And then let's add that doorway in. And turn the lights on in the closet. Right? It's not really helping all that much. Just a little bit. So let's do this. Let's actually boost. Let's go ahead and boost our light levels on this one. Overall, like so. Yeah, just like that. And then we will just bring it in selectively right about there, in those spaces. It's not much of a difference, just a little bit, but every little bit helps. Okay, so that's good. Let's save it up, straighten it up, and then we will check out the before and after. So here we have the before, and here's the after. There's before, and there is the after. Okay, super. So he's a 5-star image, and he is not. These are ready to go, so send them on over. Okay, excellent. Bam. Let's go ahead and blend them together. And that is it. That is as good as it's going to get right there. This computer is running a little bit slow. So make sure that everything's straight. Yes, it is. And let's check out our before and after. So this is before, where autofocus chose the wrong focus point, and this is our after. Before and after. I mean, it's like a million times better. A million. I can't even believe it. It's like night and day. Night and day. Night and day difference. 5 stars to that one. Not 5 stars to that one. Okay. We'll send these to reserve. This is the before for this one. And we're sending that guy away. And then this is natural light version. It's going to need a lot more. I'm thinking maybe 8. And of course, we have problems back here that could never be solved with natural light. And then of course, this down here too is a little dark. That whole section. So let's go ahead and bring this up. I'm not even going to try with that shower stall. We're going to solve that with Flash for sure, 100%. We're not even going to make an attempt to solve it with the ambient version here. This needs even more help over here. I wanted it to right about there. All right, super. So we have that. This is the flash for just the shower. So we're just going to leave. That looks good. So I'm going to use that as is. And then this is our flash frame here. And we can do maybe 4. Let's try adding, yeah, maybe even 6. Yeah. So that's the main one. This is the repair frame. It's going to be repairing this. See how that looks better there? It looks less better here. It's too bright. So that's what that's for. Let's go ahead and send them over. This is going to be 4 frames, so it's going to take a while to load. So we're definitely going to come back here and pre-work another set. Okay, so these can be, we'll put those in reserve. This one we did one and done. I didn't even take it before. This is just me dialing in them in the flash and getting the settings right where I wanted them and taking this last version. So there it is. I didn't even take it before. This is handheld. I had to get down on my knees and shoot that one handheld. So that's perfect right there. Yeah, you got kids up there. It's not a big deal. People make more of a deal than that is, but I think I may just go ahead and address that. I think I may. So all of these though are done for now. Let's switch over here and work this one. Boom, boom, boom. This is going up at the top. Let's go ahead and turn it off, mask this, and fix this right here. Come on. Helps if you have it on the right color. Okay, that's good. It's not perfect, but it's good. And it'll get better as we do this. As we start blending them. That is pretty much right where I want it to be. This ceiling is better though. This ceiling is a little bit better. The ceiling in the mirror, that is. This ceiling up here in the mirror is better in this version right here than what I got now. I like that better. I do. I have to admit it. So let's go ahead and grab that, like that, and we'll just use that ceiling. We're gonna have to, it's a little shadowy, so we're gonna have to address it. We might have to blend it a little too. We might have to give some back. I am thinking, let's grab this guy right here. Yeah, just like that. Just like that. But now it's a bit too much, so let's fade it all the way until it's right there. See? Perfect. That is where I'd want it to be. And yeah, I'm happy with it. And well, look at this. Me changing my tune. I would prefer this to have a little bit more natural highlight coming in from the window. Just not a lot, but yeah, just like that. Just a bit more. See? Sterile, natural. Okay. Super. And then this right here. Let's add that guy in for sure. Just like that. Just like that. No? Yes. Alright. Super. Merge them. Save them. Straighten them. And see what we get. Bam. So yeah, this is our before. And there's the after. Before the editing is done. And then after. What's next? Who's up? Who wants some? Okay, so yeah, this guy, I remember. We're gonna remove that. So let's do this. Alright. Let's do this. We're gonna use the colors that are in there again. We'll use this color. And then we will use this color. Okay, yeah. Let's do that. Boom, boom, and then, well, we don't want the spacer in between. So let's remove that. Okay, G is for gradient. Okay, perfect. And then what do? We fade it so that that can't really be seen. Moving right along. Next one's up. We'll go ahead and set this 5-star it. Those flowers turned out really good. They have a little pop of color there on the left side of the frame. All right, this one is unused. This is our before, so that's the before for this setup. And here's our natural light version. We're going to need some more on the right side, so let's go ahead this side to this side, add more light just to this side. That looks really good. It really does. I almost want to just use that. I think I might. That looks so good. Every now and then you get a natural light one that looks really, really good. Yeah, I think I'm going to. I don't even think I'm merging these ones. That looks perfect. We're going to choose that one. We don't even have to second guess ourselves. So yeah, he's going right, we're going right over to compare. So again, this is the before, And then this is the after. This is our before image, and this is our after image. All natural light on that one. Boom. So this one we didn't even use. We didn't even use this one. This is our before for this room here, and this is going to be our ambient. So we're going to probably use a full 10, I think. Yeah, maybe even more on this left side. I think we are. This left side, you can tell, it has a half circle that needs addressing, and this has a quarter circle that needs to be addressed. So we'll get out on our handy dandy radial adjustment brush tool, and we'll do that like so. Just move up the exposure just a bit, and then same thing here. Move up the exposure just a bit, like so. Perfect. Fit. Excellent. Now I don't even know what's going on here. Why do I have this? I think this is a mistake. I think the flash didn't fire. That's what happened. That is what happened there. The flash didn't fire. Okay. So here we have that. That's ready to go. We are ready to merge these up. Now, let's go ahead and put these in the reserve state. This is our before for this bathroom that's attached to the bedroom. On this particular bathroom, let's go ahead and address it here. I wanted to connect the two together. Notice we can see here, we can still tell there's a shower, but it's not like a rock star shower. It's a shower, right? But that's why this bookshelf, since it was seen in the previous photo, okay, we can see that, right? We get rid of this. Let's go ahead and just switch over real quick. You see it right there on the left. So there's the bookshelf, and here it is again in this version. So now we're connecting the two spaces together, which is exactly what I want, and that's, I think, a better photo than if I had just stuck the nose of the camera right in here and filled the whole frame and just made a frame of just the bathroom. I think this composition ends up working better overall for our purposes. So yeah, we're going to use that. Now here's our flash version of the same thing, and maybe 2. And I think that I like this over here. Not that much. Maybe just a little bit more. Perfect. All right. Let's work this setup right here. Boom, 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 boom. I think it's going to be an easy one. I think it's going to be an easy one. That's about just what we want right there. What the problem is, of course, we have a shadow up here, so we can just use this ceiling. We can use this ceiling for sure. Let's get rid of that. Of course, it's fighting back, right? It's fighting back. What is wrong with you, thing? Right there, 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 and there. Get rid of that. It's just being very difficult today. Okay, so that ceiling. That's pretty much it. So let's go ahead and merge them up and save them. Let's check out our before and after for this set. Bam. There's the before. And here is the after. Which would you rather have? The one the camera thinks is an ideal exposure? Or would you rather have the one the photographer designs to be an ideal exposure? You know what? I think I got a stupid little reflection here that's bothering me. I don't like that. So I'm actually gonna tune this up just a bit more. We're gonna send it back over for a little repair work. Yes, 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 we are. Right click. Send it back over to Photoshop one more time. And just go right in there and get rid of that. Now, let's isolate it first so we don't start using that in places we don't want to use it. Perfect. Okay. Save it again. Alright, so now it is a true 5-star image. And this one is a no-star image. And that is the before of that setup. Okay, so these guys are ready to go. We're going to go ahead and edit this one in Photoshop for sure. We may end up using mostly natural light on this one. I think that that's how this is going to work out. You never know till you get into it and start the blend, but I don't like the flash version as much as I'd want to like it. This natural light, well, right about there. But the flash cabinets, I don't know. Yeah, let's see what happens if we knock that down just a bit. Yeah, that's definitely more ideal. So, boom, we have that. This thing is again returning to haunt me. It's easier to repair this time though. Here's the rim of the flash, so that's fine. Save it. Let's head back. Alright, straighten it up. Here's the before, and then here's the after. Would you rather have before, or would you rather have after? There we go. Alright, these ones, send them back. This guy right here, alright, so this is the before version of this particular room. When I looked in this room, I knew it was going to be kind of challenging. You can always tell. When they paint, you know, if you use any type of brown, green, orange, any of those colors in a darker hue, you're in trouble because the difference between the windows in the room and everything else is it's just so much that the camera just can't deal with it. I can't deal with it without flash. Even using HDR, it very often struggles if you use an HDR process. So we'll put that away for now. This is the natural light version of it. In order to get it brighter, I held the shutter open longer, but then this over here got even worse. And we're going to make it worse now because we're going to add even more light into it like that, which necessitates that we knock down these highlights all the way. Knock them down. That doesn't look right, but it'll look right when we blend it with this guy. So flash plus 4. Yeah, that's pretty good there. And then, of course, we have this up here, ceiling fan shadow. We'll get rid of that. Boom, boom, boom. Send them over. All right, put these guys in reserve. This is the before of this shot. And I think this is, yeah, this is attached to the bedroom that we just looked at. So if I look at this, yeah, definitely. So that's the before. This is the ambient that we're going to use, probably 8. This is needing help over here in this corner. Not that much help though. And then this whole left side needs some help as well. So bring that up a little bit. What in the world is that? Nobody said do that. Nobody said do that. Okay. And then this needs to come down. It's too much. Okay. So that's as good as the ambient side is going to get. And this is the flash version. That actually doesn't look bad at all. Other than the shadow in the picture, the flash reflection in the picture. So that, I'm thinking that's going to come out well. All right, let's work this one. Work it doesn't mean throw it in the trash. Like that. That's about perfect. Then this, we're going to use this ceiling here instead. Like that. For sure. That is as good as that one's going to get. Square it up and give it, how many stars? Well, for now, 3. Let's go ahead and check them out. So this is our before. This is camera's idea of an ideal image, and this is the after. Before, and then after. Next, send this one over to Photoshop. And then put these ones in the reserve tank. Okay, this is, I think I chose to do this all natural light. I'm pretty sure that's what's going on here. I think that's what happened. Yeah. Yep. We just decided to do this one all natural light. And to be honest, I think it's going to turn out just fine. Let's bring the highlights down here, bring the exposure down too, but not that much. And then let's boost the exposure for the whole image a bit, just like that. And add some more for the bottom corner. Add some more for the top. This is a little bit noisy, but if you look at it, this is the size it's going to be seen on most screens right there. That's the size. You will never see any noise that that ended up in this. It's also not a crucial photo, so ends up being this is the before and this is the after on this one. This is what the camera thinks. This is what I think, and there we go. 5 stars on that one, and not 5 stars on that one. Okay, so here we are in the basement now, and as usual, I typically only do the basements handheld, and because because there's no windows to fight to speak of in most basements. So we just go ahead and I don't do the before and after thing. I just I mean, I guess we could. Let's see how it works. Bring that up, bring that up. Okay, super. So there's that. That looks good. That's what it's going to be. So this is the before. That's the after. Don't hit your microphone, and then you won't make bad sounds. Okay, then let's go ahead. That one's done. I always take two just in case. I do autofocus it in these basements, and so I always take two. Autofocus shoot, in case it gets it wrong on the first one. I've never had it get it wrong twice, so I'm pretty confident about that. All right, then we have, let's see. This one is not necessary, so yeah, 0. Here's the first version of this. Here's the second version of it. I like this second version better, so we will go ahead and hit it with a preset. That pretty much looks just fine. All things considered, is a little bit much over here, so highlights down a bit. And then same thing with this bookshelf. It's a little bit hot. Let's bring the highlights down a bit, just about that much. No. Yes. Okay, that'll do. This one is alright. This is the sitting area, the office area. They both look fine, so straighten it up. Add some, and that'll be fine, just like that. What do we got here? That one's the spare. This is like a kitchen slash exercise space. That's in the lower level. Straighten it up. Let's go ahead and add some more light. It's gonna need even more over in this space here. So let's bring that up a little bit. Just like that. And I'm thinking this corner, this hole right about there, that needs a little bit of extra. But that's pretty good. Let's clip out this dead space over here and set that to 5 stars. And let's set this one to 0 stars. Same with this one. This is the same room from the other angle. It shows that there is a bathroom downstairs. So add some more light, and I think we'll just go with it like that. This is the actual exercise room, the dedicated one. This looks just fine. And so we're just going to use that. We're going to send this one into the reserve section, and this is the basement bathroom. So it looks pretty good. I'm going to go with it just like that. And 5 stars. Moving on to our exteriors, we're almost done now. We're getting to that point where we're done. Exteriors. This is our front shot. Center on, which is a little bit off center. We also don't need to quite see so much of it. I think that's going to be, every house has a best side to it kind of thing, right? People have a best side of their face, a better side of their face, and the houses have better sides to their face too. And this is going to be not the better side. It's going to look better from the right, for sure. Okay, add that in there, and then we got to. The door is a little bit in shadow, too much. too much in shadow over there. Let's add some light. Bam, bam, bam. We're going to need to add some light down here in this row of bushes because it's like the darkness just draws your eye to it, which we don't want it to do. And same kind of thing here. The darkness is definitely this section here. Let's tilt it like that. Bring up the light level so the eye is not pulled into these hedges. We want the eye to go to the house, not the hedges. Definitely the house, not the hedges. And there we go. Like that. Let's move it there. There. Perfect. And this is great because we already got blue in the sky. I don't even have to put some extra blue in the sky. Usually I do. So we can just make the blue a little more prominent and just a little bit like that. And now she's done. 5 stars to that one. And let's move on to the next one, which is this one. This is going to be our main shot, I think. That one or this one has too much tree. This one has, I like the feel of it. I was able to get closer to it, or I was able to back up and zoom in, but now I got this tree blocking off the whole right side of the whole right side of it. So I gotta address that. I think I'm gonna address it by. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and use this version. And in order to do that, we're going to have to chop and center. Chop and center. We don't need so much of that tree on the right. We don't need so much of the house on the left. We want to fill the frame because this is going to be the main photo. I know the realtor is going to use this as the main photo. So that's what we want it to look like right there. And maybe a little bit to the left, like that. And then, no, not plus, -0.1. Just like, yeah, just like that. Okay, same thing as though we're going to have to bring this up a little bit because it's a little bit dark. Bring it up, bring it up. Add more light. Okay, and then in the doorway. In the doorway as well. There you go. Okay, now let's go ahead, make our skies again. Just enhance the blue that's already in the skies a little bit. But that is putting it in the window too. So 17 and -9. I don't like that. Let's do this. We will go ahead and make a virtual copy. And what we'll do is, with this version, we're going to go like blue is going to be -10. -10, not -100. And here it's going to be 17 and -9. And that's just going to be, we're going to use this for just the sky. That's what we're going to do. I don't want any extra blue in the windows or anything else. So, oh, I forgot I had this one over here. So we better fix this one. Send it back. So, bam. Same thing. Would have been delivering this set without this final bathroom. That would have been just perfect. There. That's it. Right there. Save. What do we need to do here? We need to switch back over to inside photos, not outside photos. And then look for that image. There it is. So, same thing. Let's go ahead and straighten it up a bit. We will set it to 3 stars. There's the before. There's the after. There's the before. And here is the after version of that. All right, back to the one we were working on, outside photos. Outside photos. All right, he's over here. Now, this one is, which one? This is the blue sky. Okay, that's the blue sky. So what we'll do is we are going to bring that blue sky in, wherever it is, because that looks better. It definitely does. We're gonna set that one 5. Well, it's still a little heavy on the left, so just a little bit more like that. Right, right like that. That's perfect. Okay, super. Now let's go ahead and one star that. We're gonna one star. Well, you know what? I'm just gonna keep this. I'm actually gonna deliver this too. The other ones, this gives a good perspective of what this front space looks like. So I'm just gonna deliver it, even though it doesn't hurt. There's no reason not to. Um, it's not like there's some advantage to the agent or the seller in not including it. So I'm just gonna go like that. This is kind of the bigger picture kind of feel. So I'm gonna keep it. This is boom, boom, boom. This is a little bit off. So that's perfect right there. It's also a little bit heavy on the right side. I don't know what you're doing, you crazy thing. Let's go ahead, just like that. So that's good. Now, that gives us an idea what the back of the house looks like. This does the same thing, just from an angle. We can open up these shadows here a lot, because they were very distracting. And over here a bit as well. I think we're actually going to boost exposure on that one. Yep. So this is good. This version of the photo is not good. This version of the photo is not good because of this silly bush thing here in the way. I had to get so close. I would have preferred this. I would have preferred this. It has a better feel to it than the other one. Sorry about that. You can always tell when my wife gets home because the dog goes absolutely nuts. So yeah, anyway, this is no. That's a no-go there. So we're not going to use that one because of that tree in the way. So he's going away. And then, oh no, I like this one better. Yeah, I'm going to use this one. We're going to throw the other one away. So same thing, open up the shadows a bit, bring that up. Yeah, I like this one better, even though it has that thing, the that bushy branchy thing. It's minimized, and the house itself, it just looks better. So boom, yeah, definitely. I'm gonna cut a little bit off the right here to balance that out a little more. So this is going to be the one we use for that angle. I'm going to scrap the other one. Where's the other one? This one. See? Look at this. See, I don't know, it just looks more funky. That one versus this one. So just a little change. Little changes go a long way. This looks way better. So this one's going in the trash bin. There. All right, what do we got here? Boom, boom, boom. Could we? All right. And then this one, there was no getting rid of that branch. Not, there was just, it was just there. And then, so there was no working around it unless I took some time to chop it off of the tree, which I tend not to do. It typically makes the sellers upset. So we're going to avoid doing that. This one's done, 5 stars. You can see exterior images are typically easier, except in the winter when the snow causes problems or when you have really bad light. But usually you can, or if the gray skies and you have to put blue skies in every single one. But in decent conditions like this, you can pretty much make up a little bit of time for that you have to spend in the on all the interior images, and communicates the idea of the patio and what all fun you can have back there during the summer and fall months. It's a little bit hot right here in the middle of the frame, so let's bring highlights down in the middle and over here, this little angle here, bring that down a little bit like so. Perfect. All right, and then let's go ahead and set that to 5 stars. I wanted this. This did not work. I did not. No. Every now and then I shoot one. I'm like, I don't think it's gonna work, and I was right. I don't like that at all. This one is the one I wanted to use to give a perspective of the backyard and the space that is or isn't there. But the light, I remember right here, the sun came out and it really right from behind a cloud and started getting really harsh. Really harsh. Okay. So we have that, and then still a little bit hazy, so we'll knock that down a bit. And I want more detail in the sky, so we're going to knock that down a bit. It'll be like Ansel Adams doing dodge and burn. Okay, that's what I want right there. This one looks pretty good. This one looks pretty good. Maybe bring saturation down just a half a hair. Even more down up here in this section here. Okay, I'm going to keep that. But I think it needs to be straightened a bit. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking too. And we can afford to lose a little bit of this wall. It's a lot of negative space. All right, super. That one's ready. I was going to use, this is another one of those, is it going to work shots? It didn't. And this is the garage. Sometimes the agents like to use that. They want an image of the garage, but we're going to crop in because really all we need to know about is the garage here and not all the other stuff, because it's not framed up right, so it doesn't look right. So we just focus in on the garage, bam, like that. Bring this space up. And that one's done too. All right, friends, so that's it. Episode 2 of The Seller's Edge. We wrapped it up. I will see you next time. You have a great day.